Section 13, question 11. Solve the quadratic equation x squared minus 4x minus 6 equal to 0. Give your answers correct to one decimal place. So I would interpret this as a quadratic formula equation since we're being asked to round to one decimal place. So remember, the quadratic formula is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4, and c is equal to minus 6. So it's just about plugging this information now into the formula. So x equals, well, if b is minus 4, minus b will be plus 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So for b squared, it's going to be minus 4 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 6, all over 2a, which is 2 times 1, and that's 2. So in here, minus 4 squared is 16. Minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, times that by minus 6 is plus 24, all over 2. So just take your time, this is a calculator question. 4 plus or minus square root of 40 over 2. Split the thing up now into 2 bits. 4 plus root 40 over 2 and 4 minus root 40 over 2. So 4 plus root 40 over 2, go to the calculator. And that's 5.2 to one decimal place. For minus root 40 over 2. And that's minus 1.2. And that's the end of the question. Section 13, example 12. Solve the equation x squared plus 2x equal to 9. Give your answers correct to one decimal place. So again, I would interpret that as a quadratic formula equation. Remember, to solve quadratic equations, they need to be equal to 0. So bring that 9 across and make it minus 9. I've now got a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to minus 9, and I can proceed with the quadratic formula. So x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So if b is 2, minus b will be minus 2, so minus 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared will be 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is minus 9, all divided by 2a, which is 2 times 1, and that's 2. So minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared is 4, minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, times that by minus 9, and that's plus 36, all over 2. So 2 plus or minus the square root of 40 over 2. I'm now ready to make my split. And in this side I'll have x equals 2 plus root 40 over 2. And this side x equals 2 minus root 40 over 2. So to one decimal place, 2 plus root 40 divided by 2. that's 4.2. And this side, 2 minus root 40 over 2. That's minus 2.2, that's the end of the question. Question 13. Determine the nature of the roots of the function f of x equals 7x squared plus 5x minus 1. Now, we could interpret this as a question where we need to factorise into two brackets or solve using the quadratic formula, but that would be the wrong interpretation of the question, because the question is not asking me to calculate the roots, it's asking me to find the nature of the roots. Now, that's a question that is investigating the discriminant. Alright, so when you use the discriminant with this question, b squared minus 4ac, I would communicate to the examiner, use discriminant, use b squared minus 4ac. A is equal to 7, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to minus 1. So plug that straight in, and that will be 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 7, times c, which is minus 1. 5 squared is 25. Minus 4 times 7 is minus 28, times that by 1, that's plus 28. 28 plus 25 is 53. So let's communicate that properly. D is equal to 53. 53 is greater than 0. Therefore, roots are real and distinct. Because remember, that's what you take from the discriminant being greater than 0, that the roots are real and distinct, and that's the end of the question. Question 14. Find the range of values of p such that the equation px squared minus 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 has no real roots. Now, the condition for no real roots is that the discriminant is less than 0, and you'll get a decision making mark for that one. So b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. Now we can see that a is equal to p, b is minus 2, and c is equal to 3. So by subbing that in, b squared is minus 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is p, times c, which is 3, is less than 0. Minus 2 squared is 4, so 4 minus 12p is less than 0. Minus 12p will be less than, bring the 4 across, minus 4. I've got an inequality here. Now I'm going to divide through by a negative. Now remember, for inequalities you solve them like equations, except that if you divide through by a negative you need to flip the inequality at the point of division by the negative. So the less than flips over to become greater than, negative divided by negative cancels, and 4 over 12 is 1/3. So the final answer is p is greater than 1/3.